So this is my giant Revolt. I had it for 3 months now. So many people have had too big of tyres on. Need the clearance.
First introduced in the previous generation of Revolt, the option of running the diffuse seat post, a traditional round seat post, or 30.9 dropper seat post are all made available on this new generation.
So that's a massive plus point for this Giant, even though when the bike's built up it looks very integrated. It's not going to cost you any money because we're never going to really have to cut your hoses to do stuff to it. All of this will just pull through like a normal headset. It's a slight bit of extra work, but it's nothing that I'm worried about.
This is my all-new Revolt Advanced Pro. It's a brand new model of a giant Revolt, and it's the first ever production model, full of African dirt from the Masai Mara.
Hello.
My lips are sunburned. That's why it weighs so much more. Well, yeah, it's wet kit from Africa. Oh. I forgot my sleeping bag, so I had to go and buy a kid's one from Decathlon.
Like 3 months worth of like heavy use on this bike, or as Nick says, light riding. I've got creaking going through my bike. Can you help, please?
It's coming. It sounds like it's your rear derailleur, but it's not. It's the frame. You've got this flip chip goes in, and I think it's just a thing of like, it's bound to happen. So it's not like a black mark against Giant or anything. It's more just, you've taken this thing through rivers with me, all the rides and stuff. Eventually, that will just get dry and dirt and things will get in. So there'll be some dirt in there. We just need to kind of open it up, clean it, put it back together. Maybe a tiny bit of grease, and that'll fix it. It's fairly easy. But anything that's like metal on carbon, carbon on carbon, metal on metal, anything that's dry, if it gets a bit of dirt in it or it's got friction and movement, it will just creak. So we'll fix that first. We'll check your brake pads. Then we'll open your bottom bracket up just to see what it looks like. And then I'm not bothered about the rest. You can suffer on by yourself. See, so it's just a lot of dirt in there. It seems to be cleaned out every now and then. I mean, it's like an Enduro fish tank where they put salt water on the bearings to see how quickly they rust. This is like giving you a bike, you know, it's accelerated wear and tear because you ride an unnatural amount of miles every week.
I think it's the conditions as well.
You do in a week or what I do in a year. It's just not normal, Josh. Like, I mean, you can see there where it's just been scuffing. There's a slight bit of movement. Yeah, just basic kind of like looking at stuff. So we might as well clean this side as well while we're at it. You can see all the dirt and sand and stuff falling out. It's just really, really dirty in there. Look, I told you, it's not just your bottom bracket that creaks. Loads of things creaks. Clean up all the excess. I love this thing so much. This tool has single-handedly made my life so much easier when it comes to dub cranks. No more breaker bars. If you're going to open a bike shop, the first thing you want to invest in, don't worry about Allen keys or pliers or spanners or bearing presses. Get yourself a impact wrench, especially a strong one. Okay. Take that off. You can hear the sand. Yeah, it's still perfectly smooth. And that's not even, it's pointless to even try and service that. That's covered in grease. So just clean off the outside. I reckon we'll leave it like for another few months and then we'll take the seals out, grease it, put it back together. A brush for the selection. Pick a brush, slightly harder brush one.
Yeah, it's fine when it's off.
Scratch, yeah? You ready? We've done that. You can do a bit more. Hose pipe. Ah! Impossible to clean, you say? I'm very tempted to use the impact range to put it back on, but that's 100% not a good idea. I'm impressed. I mean, it's not like you look after things or do light riding. I mean, you actually test the bikes properly, which is good. I mean, it's like if it breaks, but then feedback wise, I mean, the state of the cranks and the amount of like scuffs and like gouges in it, and it still goes well, is impressive. Yeah. I mean, even like the bottom bracket was an issue originally, but that's not a giant thing. That's just from the group set. That's just Ryan BB. Wear and tear and not the water and not looking after stuff. It's holding up well. I personally like gravel bikes to have scratches and marks on them because it just means you use it. Like when people wheel in a bike that's in immaculate condition, you just think to yourself, like, are you even enjoying this?
So in here, under the bottle cage, and it makes sense with carbon because you've just got a hollow frame, so why not allow it to have a bag in it to have all your tools. Housing my Restrap boot kit. Got some tyre levers and the all important rear mech hanger. You never know when your bike's gonna fall on a train and bend the rear mech hanger, so you might need that.
You know how to use any of these tools?
Yeah, I've picked up a little bit along the way from you. So on the top tube, the Giant Revolt, like the previous editions, have 2 bolts on the top so I can mount a Restrap top tube bag. I'm then using the Garmin 1040 Solar for all my navigation, and I also did not have to charge that at all during the race. I'm using giant wheels with a Hutchinson Tundra on the front and a Touareg on the back. So the Tundra is a more grippy tyre for all like any mud and just extra puncture protection. And then I'm using Redshift bar tape with a Redshift insert just to protect my ulnar nerve.
You want to see something cool?
I do.
My favourite tool is not only good for cranks.
It does pedals as well.
It does pedals as well. 2 for 1. Yeah, I mean, like, gets even better. I need to always just think. Obviously, you need to remember to make sure you change the direction. You ready? That's so good. I don't know what kind of witchcraft it uses because it's got 980 Newton meters of reverse torque on it. And my brain just keeps thinking, I mean, that's like a Mercedes-Benz, the AMG, like doesn't even put out that much torque. It's like one of Jobber's legs. It must have some weird aspect because it doesn't spin anything, so it's not like you have to counter, like if you're using a lever you have to hold the other side. I don't know if it's just because there's a centrally spun force and not angling on it, but it just makes life so much easier.
What are these, Nick?
These are the entry-level Can-Do 1 pedals. Meg has sent me some to take apart and test. She didn't say how to test them.
It's dangerous giving me things.
I can't think of a better way to test them than to have you go and destroy them out in France. If they come back and they still work, great. If they don't, then we know. But they're supposed to be fully serviceable, so we can, if anything goes wrong, we can just fix it. But they should squeak less than your current pedals.
My current look pedals are squeaking when I'm trying to record audio, which is slightly annoying, so...
You sure it's not your knees?
It could be my knees.
I'm not brave enough to use the tool to like attach things yet. Okay. Look at that.